Here's a way to say it. Muselk basically left TF2 to do the crappy games, and even though he made no, I mean from my perspective, Muselk left because TF2 was burning out of TF2, right? And obviously that was at the time Overwatch was coming out, and Muselk had a few issues with TF2. The fact that the development team wasn't talking to them. It was the same couple of updates over and over again. There was no talk about when an update would be. Overwatch basically promised to have a game like TF2, but with all of TF2's problems fixed. So there was a big development team working on it. They promised a lot of communication at the start, and it was a big game. It was Blizzard's next big thing. There was loads of press around it. It was going to be super popular, and it was going to be just like what Muselk had already been doing. It wasn't like he betrayed TF2, because I believe that if the TF2 community wasn't absolutely awful to him when he left, he would have been still making some TF2 videos. I think the community absolutely drove him away. You also got to remember that TF2 at the time, I don't think was doing incredibly well. I don't think TF2 at the time was doing amazingly well, and Muselk was doing this as his full-time job. If he has the chance to move to a game that is going to be a lot bigger than TF2, whether or not it would die sooner, it doesn't matter. But Muselk had the chance to further his career, hopefully play a game where it had better dev support, and the people who were making it actually reached out to content creators and like the community and talked to them. Because TF2 doesn't do that. Blizzard promised it at the start. Whether or not that happened, different story completely. But Muselk, like it was a no-brainer really for Muselk to do it. His career would be furthered. He'd have more fun with the game. It was something new. He was getting burnt out of TF2 and was unhappy with how everything was going, and you could tell that. So him leaving was because he wanted to carry on his career, and he was like, I don't think he'd been full time for that long or something like that, but yeah, he wanted to carry on his career, didn't want to burn out of TF2. I think if the community wasn't awful to him, he'd still be making videos, but I've never seen the community be so horrible to one person for wanting to play a different video game. Like, it's different pixels on the screen, realistically. I'm pretty sure we can all get over it. How many other people do we reckon that bullied Muselk for playing a different game also don't just exclusively play TF2? How many people do we think bullied Muselk for not only making videos on one game, but then would close TF2 and like open Minecraft or open CS or open whatever game was new at the time? Right? That's basically what Muselk's doing, but because he's a content creator, he'd be recording those other games. So pretty much every single person that was butthurt about him leaving does exactly what Muselk was doing, but they don't broadcast it for everyone. I completely get it if you're somebody who only ever plays TF2 and that's the only game you play, and you're thinking he's leaving it. I don't get why people just can't play TF2 all the time. Like, most people will close TF2, play a different game with their friends. The fact that people are quoting Among Us jokes in the chat means people play different games. But then they get mad at content creators for going and playing different games. Like, what? How is that fair? How is that fair? And with Muselk's move to Fortnite, it was pretty much exactly the same thing. It was exactly the same thing as him moving to Overwatch. Because Overwatch started getting boring, started doing exactly the same thing TF2 was doing. The community was awful in Overwatch, from my experience anyway. And they were putting out the same updates. They weren't talking to the community. And here comes Fortnite, promising, once again, weekly updates. So that's content weekly, guaranteed. It was a really popular game. It was fun. It was bright. It was cartoony. It was everything YouTube could have ever needed. a massive dev team, loads of popularity, and like for a while, Epic Games looked like they were listening to people.
Stop throwing money at me. Go away.
And that they were listening to what the community was saying, and you know, putting that idea in the game. So that's appealing to a content creator, because they're like, okay, they listen to us. There's weekly content to make. Like there's at least like an update every week with new stuff to do, which would then hopefully make a week's worth of videos or anything like that. So yeah, like Fortnite stole a lot of taunts from TF2. TF2 stole a lot of taunts from just real life. The high five isn't a TF2 exclusive thing. The Kozlowski kick isn't a TF2 exclusive dance. Most TF2 dances aren't TF2 exclusive. Like, do you think TF2 was the first person to do this? That's a touchdown dance. Every American football player, when they score a touchdown, does a dance or celebrates or something like that. This isn't a TF2 exclusive thing. This isn't a TF2 exclusive thing. This isn't a TF2 exclusive thing. This isn't anything to do with it. This is literally called the Carlton. It's a dance taken from a TV show. TF2 doesn't own this. Like Man Robix isn't original either. The Conga isn't original either. TF2 doesn't own these dances or these taunts. So saying, oh, Fortnite stole them from TF2. No, Fortnite stole them from real life. They've modeled their stuff off popular dances and like funny emotes. That's what that is. Like there's so many games taking inspiration from each other and inspiration from real life that there's no way to like truly pinpoint when someone is copying someone else. I have to say, the community in Fortnite isn't my favorite thing in the world. I like the game, like the base game. I don't like the fact that the whole community is just like, some of the community sometimes is just not great, right? And I think we can agree that with pretty much any game as well. Like TF2 community sometimes isn't great. Spikey Mikey stole being a YouTube channel from PewDiePie. Exactly, PewDiePie was the original YouTube channel, even though he wasn't. Fortnite did really well, and a lot of games tried to like take stuff from Fortnite, take inspiration from Fortnite. You could say Fortnite copied Minecraft for using a pickaxe. I know technically it was like Valve owns CS, but the war paints, pretty sure. I think there was other games that did it, but CS was like notorious for skins and stuff. And then TF2 got weapon skins, which it hadn't had before. And obviously it's Valve, they're just putting like all of their stuff together at that point, and that's what that is. But TF2 still stole stuff. Golden weapons, that was a COD thing. It might have been even done before COD, but I knew it from COD. Fortnite copied PUBG, it's a battle royale. Then PUBG copied H1 because that's a battle royale, and that came first. Like I don't think saying, oh, Fortnite copied this, so this is why it's bad, is a legitimate reason for anything. Because then you're saying TF2 is bad because TF2 has taken a lot of references from stuff. TF2 has a Mario hat in it. I just think people complaining about this all started Muselk playing Fortnite. Oh god, no, I think it's a whole stupid argument. I hate it when people say, oh, he betrayed us. He didn't betray us. If you look at the actual reasons that Muselk left, and you know why he also then moved from Overwatch to Fortnite when it came out, everything makes sense. He's gambling his career every time he moves. He's not just going to jump. Oh, my rant is over. Oh my god. I just miss him, that's all. I mean, the community basically drove him away. I feel like if people weren't awful to him and weren't absolutely horrible to him, said, like, if you literally look at anything he tweets or anything he posts sometimes, my god, it's so toxic. I wouldn't, if I was Muselk and like I knew that is the fan base that wanted me back, I wouldn't go back. Absolutely no way.